Hello again, book lovers, and we go to Scotland, The Lion in the North by John Prebble. Now, not my first Prebble by any means. As you'll see from book review 41, where I gave the thumbs up to Glencoe. Prior to that, I'd read Culloden and the Highland Clearances, so I was doing them chronologically. This book takes in the whole sweep of Scottish history from about the 9th century in a beginning which is called The Union of Peoples, but which has the quotation as a subtitle, Dreadful Clashings of Wars, and that's what it seems to be for a long time. We move on from there to the Norman invasion, which I have to admit I didn't realise had touched Scotland as much as it had, but how about these? Familiar names which I'd taken to be of Scottish origin, Balliol, Bruce, Stuart, all turn out to be Normans. And in fact the Normans had a huge part to play in this particular history, in which, after the Norman invasion, we get the War of Independence, the Steward's House, the Reformation. It seems to me that Scotland is already divided into a highland and a lowland, and there are so many, as with the great patchwork of history all over the world, so many alliances, so many betrayals and the like, but at least it makes for a good story, doesn't it? Wasn't that what Homer said? The gods weave tragedies so that we've got something to read about. Anyway, this is a marvellously battered second-hand copy that fell apart in my hands with a lot of dog-eared pages, and it certainly brought me up to speed on Scottish politics. Of course, Mary Queen of Scots features heavily in there, as does John Knox, and all kinds of wranglings about religious matters that, as usual, seem very distant to us today, written in the way that I like history to be written, i.e. one damn thing after another, with a little bit of fleshing out, a little bit of local colour, personal detail, nice writing style, with some pithy comments along the way. I see from the bibliography, and by the way, the episodes I'd mentioned already, the Highland Clearances, Culloden, Glencoe, they are all obviously spoken about, but can be found in better detail in the Prebble works which are dedicated to them. Another thing which crops up here, which is fascinating to me, is the Darien Project, and as Mr. Prebble has a book on that, I'll be looking out for it. He also has one on Highland regiments in revolt, which I have no particular interest in, but because it's written in this lovely style, I'll be on the lookout for that as well. Anyway, we gallop quite quickly through Scottish history in this book without putting the magnifying glass too solidly over any single part, and before we know it, we are, in the words of the last chapter, North Britons. There's the Union, all the politicking between the Jameses, the Williams, the Charleses, the French, the Italians. It's all there, and it all rushes on you quite quickly and comes to a sudden end, which is the sign of a good book.